The Lawyer and the Unbreakable Glass. On July 9, 1993, 38-year-old Gary Hoy, a senior partner at the law firm Holden Day Wilson in Toronto, wanted to demonstrate to a group of law students the strength of the windows in his office. It was his signature trick. He had run and thrown himself against the glass many times before, and it had always held. That day he decided to repeat it for a new group of interns. The first time he hit the glass, it held, bouncing him back. But Gary decided to try again with more enthusiasm. He ran once more and slammed into the window. The glass, as expected, did not break, but this time the window frame itself failed. Under the force of the impact, the frame popped out of the opening, and together with the glass, Gary Hoy fell from the 24th floor. A police engineer later confirmed that the glass remained intact until it hit the ground. The official cause of death was listed as an accident. Wrong and wronger. 29th of July, 2002, Uvivna, Ukraine. A 40-year-old deputy went for a walk with his dog that evening. The animal was well trained. During the walk they met a cadet from the police academy, who was accompanying two women. The cadet noticed that the dog was off-leash and not wearing a muzzle. An argument broke out between the two men. In the heat of the quarrel, the deputy pulled a military grenade from his pocket. He removed the pin and threw the grenade at the cadet's feet, hoping to intimidate him. The dog, trained to retrieve objects, immediately ran to the grenade, picked it up, and returned it to its owner. At that moment there was a deafening explosion. The cadet and the two women were unharmed. The deputy and the dog died instantly. Chute Boy. July 14, 2000, in the city of Calgary, 25-year-old Sheldon M. The day before, Sheldon, together with friends, was celebrating the successful conclusion of the workweek. The group gathered in one of the apartments on the 12th floor, where they consumed alcohol for several hours. Around 1 a.m. the group's attention was drawn to an open garbage chute in the floor's hallway. The garbage disposal shaft, 60 centimeters in diameter, went down all 12 floors of the building. In the lower part, at the first floor level, an industrial waste compactor was installed. Sheldon proposed taking a ride on the best slide of a lifetime. His friends did not take the idea seriously. Sheldon opened the aluminum door of the chute, checked the direction of the shaft with his hand, and laughing, declared that he would fly down faster than everyone. He squeezed into the opening and pushed off from the edge, beginning his fall. His speed increased rapidly, and he reached the lower level. At that moment the compactor was starting a new cycle. It caught Sheldon and crushed him almost instantly, after which the device automatically stopped. Building staff discovered the body. Mining for elephants. On February 15, 2005, in the Rashinga region, a local farmer named Christian wanted to eliminate one persistent problem: elephants that regularly trampled his maize crops. The field he had planted lay directly on an ancient elephant trail, a path pachyderms had been using for centuries. Christian reasoned that ordinary protective methods, such as fencing or electric shock systems, were either ineffective or unavailable in his situation. Not far from his land, on the border between Zimbabwe and Mozambique, there was an old minefield. The area had long been abandoned, but the mines were still there. Knowing their destructive power, Christian decided that these mines would become his weapon against the pachyderms. After heavy rains had washed away the soil, he dug up 5 mines. Christian carefully buried these mines around his maize field, expecting that they would explode under the weight of the elephants. The mines, however, were not stabilized. The explosives had deteriorated. While he was transporting them, one of the mines detonated, exploding directly in his hands. Christian died instantly. A Dog's Business. 2nd of February, 2008, Northern New York State, USA. A group of hunters, including a 50-year-old man, went bird hunting together with a loyal dog. The group was walking through the forest when they decided to take a break. The dog, exploring the surroundings, came across a bone from a deer's leg. The man tried to take the bone from the dog. At first he attempted to grab the prize with his hands. In a moment of irritation, he picked up his loaded hunting rifle, holding it by the barrel, intending to use the stock as a club. He began swinging the rifle, but when it struck the ground, the contact with the hard surface triggered the firing mechanism, and the rifle discharged directly into the man's abdomen. His friends called emergency services. The man later died in the hospital. A firework on the head. July 4, 2015, U.S. Independence Day. In the town of Calais, Maine, 22-year-old Devin Staples was celebrating with friends. The party was in full swing, and alcohol was flowing freely. At some point, Devin, wanting to impress everyone with his bravery, took a cardboard mortar tube for launching fireworks. His friends, who saw what he was about to do, tried to talk him out of it, begging him not to do something foolish. But Devin was adamant, confident that it would be a harmless and fun trick. He placed the tube on his head like a hat. His last words were, "I'm just going to light it. It's no big deal." He brought a lighter to the fuse. The powerful charge detonated right on his head. The force of the blast was colossal. Devon Staples was killed instantly from a massive head injury. Chimney-Cleaning Grenade. On January 13, 2005, in Croatia, 55-year-old Marko decided to clean his chimney. His workshop was a small annex attached to his house, and from it he intended to create a tool, not just a broom, but a chain scraper, a brush tied to a chain, and a heavy weight attached to the chain to pull the brush up and down the chimney. Marko went through various objects he could use to weigh down the chain. Among the items in his workshop, he found a small heavy metal object that seemed perfect. This weight turned out to be a live hand grenade. Unaware of the danger, Marko began welding the chain to the body of the grenade. As the metal heated under the arc, the contact became red hot, and at that moment the grenade exploded. Marko died instantly in the blast. Fatal stretch. On the 11th of July 1997, 22-year-old Eric A. Barcia was working at a fast food restaurant. One day he decided to create his own version of a bungee jump. He tied several rubber bungee cords together, attaching one end to his ankle and the other to a support on a bridge. He then measured the length of his homemade rope so that it would be slightly shorter than the distance from the bridge to the ground, about 21 meters. On the 12th of July, Eric, attached to his homemade rope, jumped from a railway bridge. After the jump, the cord stretched farther than the distance to the ground, and Eric struck the pavement. Fairfax County Police confirmed that Eric was found dead beneath the bridge.